In today's video, can you believe that we're going to make a video about being stuck in a traffic jam? Well, today is that day. This village we are heading towards at the pace of a snail is the quaint village of Tarporley in Cheshire. With Tarporley having its own bypass, which is both the A49 and A51, I'm sure you're wondering, just as I was, why the hell everybody was forced off the bypass to drive through the village. Well, apparently that was down to a tree that needed urgently cutting down. Admittedly, this video will be a bit of a challenge to keep you all entertained, so let's give it a go. One trucker's eye.
I would like to share some words of Robert Burns, which have recently become quite meaningful to me. Beneath the shelter of an aged tree.
Oops, that's me.
The trucker's eye! The trucker's eye!
So having been forced off the bypass and towards the village, we'd already been queuing for 5 minutes at this point. But even then, I thought this lady was a little premature in turning around. In hindsight, this was a stroke of genius. At this point, little did we know how long it would take us to get through the village, and what ensued, as you'll see, was almost gridlock. Obviously with my accent, that's gridlock with a double K. As you can see, a couple of other drivers get themselves wisely turned around, but when you were in a truck, there's no chance of that. You'll notice that there isn't any traffic coming in the opposite direction either, as at this point, they are all stuck in the village too. Even with the footage sped up, you can see that we weren't moving very far very quickly. I even had time at this point to switch the engine off and make a brew. I did fancy getting the drone out, but you just know that if I'd have got the drone out to send it up to see what was happening on the bypass, as soon as I did, the traffic would start moving. Obviously, I wouldn't actually do that, just before anyone puts a complaint in. Even Google Maps is seemingly still unaware of the A49 closure. We're a little bit further ahead with the footage at this point, and as you can see, trucks are struggling to get through the village. With the length of the truck, I've left this entrance clear, just in case anybody will want to turn into it. And just after these vehicles pass, we are able to start moving. Where these innocently parked cars unwittingly causing congestion that we'd been in for the last 25 minutes. Because as soon as we are past them, we seem to be on our way. Oh shillings. Well, that didn't last, did it? And things are about to get a whole lot worse. I've got to say, Fixings Northwest have had some great exposure on this video so far, and their driver had the sense to take the left-hand turn on the left-hand side, something that any driver of any small vehicle should have really been looking at. A short distance further on, and I've intentionally closed the gap, leaving just enough space for vehicles to make the turn. Of course, it's only right and fair to let some vehicles out at these junctions, but sooner or later in a long vehicle you just have to close the gap. Otherwise the smaller vehicles will keep joining the small gaps, and you'll never ever be able to move. The best way to do this is to keep your eyes peeled in the distance, and once you see the traffic moving, you'll know when to close the gap, as the traffic directly in front of you will be moving very shortly. You ultimately have to control the junction. The other problem here is that I need to make sure that I keep the zebra crossing clear by either staying this side of it, which would leave my trailer blocking the junction, or completely clearing it so that the trailer is naturally sitting across the crossing. This gentleman not seeing the bigger picture of why I'm actually crawling across the junction. More likely though is that with him not indicating coming towards the junction, he could be asking whether he could go down the road to his right. But with the traffic moving, I have to get going, as I know there'll be traffic wanting to come through towards us, and I need to find the next gap so that I don't cause a blockage when it does. Sorry fella, no time to stop. But even with your best ad hoc plans, they can be scuppered at a second's notice. Had this small car continued through the gap, then I'd have nicely fitted into the gap on the left, and the traffic on the other side could have continued their journey. Luckily though, the gentleman of the other parked car is about to leave. The other problem, which you won't see as it happens behind me, is instead of reading the road and fitting into the gaps, the cars behind just blindly follow me, and even though I eventually cleared the parked cars, they don't, and they are still blocking the path for the opposite traffic. This probably isn't the best time to be doing a delivery and parking on double yellow lines to do it. But slightly further up there's a pedestrian crossing with zigzags, and there's somebody who's really excelled themselves. The bright spark in the silver van that you can just make out over the top of the other two vehicles is actually parked on the zigzags doing a delivery. Also remember what we said about being able to clear the crossing. The silver car doesn't do this, even when there are pedestrians waiting to cross. I think it's fair to say that women can cross safely even though the lights are on green for us, the 22 plate car showing how it should be done. Eventually we get a bit of traction and are on the move again. Bobby's yard is just south of here, so a lot of their vehicles will have been impacted by this. This is the first truck of theirs that will pass us in the space of the next 30 seconds. The second driver, however, was very jovial. I didn't have the heart to tell him that he still had about another hour to go before he got out of the village. I, on the other hand, surely only had a matter of minutes to go. Surely.
Time goes by so slowly.
At this point, even the bystanders couldn't believe the amount of carnage going on, and even wanted to get their own photographs. Or maybe they just saw the trucker's eye and were completely starstruck. Or maybe not. In the distance you can see this other truck who has brilliant awareness. He clearly knows that had he not held his position, no matter how tempting it would be for him to keep up with the flow of traffic, that there wouldn't be anywhere for either of us to go. Thank you very much, mate. That was really appreciated, as now for the first time we have a light at the end of the tunnel, so to speak. This road is still very tight, and there is an obstacle that most drivers of small vehicles wouldn't even think of, but drivers of large vehicles certainly will. And that is trees. You can tell by the low-hanging trees that they don't get a lot of trucks through this village. Take a listen. In a truck you'll quite often get banging of branches on the cab, but you do need to keep your eyes peeled for something that you really need to avoid. This tree leans slightly into the road, and if you hit it with the top corner of your cab, then you will do some serious damage. I could even see the driver of the car wondering why I'm stopping to drink right a bit. Well, it was all because of that. But once we'd negotiated the tree, we were free. Eventually we meet up back with the A49 and the A51, and as you can see the bypass was still closed. All in all it took 1 hour and 20 minutes to do just 1.2 miles. Now I've never seen the tree that needed to be urgently removed, so I couldn't tell you whether they could have left one direction of the bypass open, but that would have saved everybody a lot of time. But it was what it was, and look on the bright side, I got an almost 10-minute video out of this. And the fact that you're still watching it means that I did manage to entertain you with the video of a frickin' traffic jam.
When you get a chance to pull over,
Maybe we all need to start questioning our life choices at this point. I'll see you all next time. One trucker's eye.